My mom mocked me on my birthday, so I canceled her rent and cut ties. 3 weeks later, she sent me a manila envelope. I just replied, "Keep your prayers." So, my birthday rolls around, and out of nowhere, my mom drops a bomb in the family group chat. "No one is coming to your party, grow up." Yeah, happy birthday to me. I read that twice, and then, just said understood. But here's the thing, I was done. So, I canceled their $2,300 automatic rent payment without a second thought. Next day, I returned the car they'd been using and canceled all their credit cards. I wasn't even mad, I just realized I'd had enough of being their human ATM. They didn't even see it coming. I guess they thought I'd throw a fit and then get back to paying for everything like usual, but nope. This was the last straw. I was just done being treated like a walking bank account instead of a son. I'm 28 and working in IT out in Denver. It's not glamorous, but it pays the bills. I thought we'd moved past the crappy years and things were finally leveling out. I thought I'd done enough to actually be part of the family, but I guess they didn't care. The kicker wasn't the message itself but how everyone else reacted. My aunt just slapped a heart emoji on it, my sister celebrated with a cake emoji, and dad sent a clown meme. Nobody asked how I was doing. Nobody said happy birthday. I was sitting there in the dark, not even hurt, just wondering why I'd let this go on for 4 years. It all started when I was 24 because they made it seem like I was the only one who could help. Rent, groceries, gas, you name it, I paid it. Even their cat's vet bills. They always found a way to make me feel like I had no choice. Then there were the passive-aggressive texts, "Power's getting cut again. Mom's back hurts. Emily's car broke down, help her out." The last one stung the most. I had bought Emily, my 25-year-old sister who's always on vacation and never working, that car. She still drives it, posting selfies with captions like "thankful for people who truly support me," not even tagging me. When I asked why she never pitched in, Dad's answer: "She's not built for pressure like you are." Last Thanksgiving, I drove 5 hours to surprise them with champagne and groceries. My mom just blankly said, "Oh, you came," like she wasn't expecting me. She even told Emily to hide Josh's gifts. Who's Josh? Oh, just Emily's boyfriend who lives in my old room. I got to sleep on the couch. At dinner, Dad toasted to me being the guy who pays the bills but can't keep a girlfriend. Everyone laughed, especially Emily. I just went along with it, cleared the table, and paid the plumbing bill when the sink got clogged, because that's what family does, right? Then Emily posts a pic with Josh in front of a cabin, caption "family trip," and I wasn't even invited. Found out about it because a coworker asked if that was my sister he saw online. Who knew you could feel so alone with family like this? So, I stumbled upon this vacation pic where Mom, Dad, Emily, and Josh were all smiles, rocking matching beanies and holding mugs. Emily's mug caught my eye with its "best daughter ever" custom print. They didn't even bother to text me when they went on this trip. The week they got back, I got an email from my landlord reminding me that rent was due the next day. They'd totally missed last month's transfer, just expecting I'd handle it like usual. And yeah, I did pay it because I was flush, but I wasn't about to let it slide. Things took a turn for the worse when I was working from home and my phone started buzzing nonstop. Our family group chat was blowing up, and at first, I thought something terrible had happened. Nope, it was Dad posting a screenshot of my Amazon wish list with a snide remark about how I was asking for socks and shampoo for my birthday. Cousin Ashley chimed in with a pic of toilet paper, and Emily added a jab about gift wrapping. I just stared at my screen. It didn't sting anymore, it was just so predictable. They'd stopped even pretending to hide their digs, assuming I wouldn't push back. So, I began quietly compiling evidence, screenshots, chats, emails, proof of everything. From the rent I covered to the bills they missed, even how Mom had messed with my credit to open a Target card. When I confronted her, she brushed it off, saying I wasn't using it. I called her out on it being illegal, and she snapped at me, saying I'd be nothing without the family. The drama continued when I found out Emily had told her friends I was on the spectrum, not true but juicy enough to spread. She thought it made me seem more understandable. Still, I kept quiet and went about my business, but I was planning something big that they had no idea about. My patience paid off when my birthday rolled around, just 2 weeks after the group chat fiasco and the missed cabin invite. They had the audacity to call me. Emily texted saying Mom wanted me over for a family dinner. I left her on read. 10 minutes later, Dad called, trying to play peacemaker. They were always talking about moving forward every time they wanted me to forget how they'd treated me. This time, I said yes but didn't show up solo. I walked into their place, the same one I had helped repaint and where I'd bought the fridge, on time, but with a duffel bag and a backup drive. Mom greeted me like everything was peachy, Dad handed me a beer, and Emily had this smug look like she'd already won. They talked about healing and forgiveness, saying I overreacted by canceling rent and credit cards. Then Mom hit me with the line that broke me, saying I was still part of the family despite my mistakes. I took a deep breath, reached into my bag, pulled out my laptop, and opened a folder labeled Truth on the table. Dad mocked it as homework. I didn't reply, just hit play. The first audio clip was a voicemail from Mom, telling me to grow up and pay for my sister's tuition. Then Emily on speaker, saying how making me pay for things made me feel useful. I showed them all the screenshots, credit transfers, bills, group chats, and Emily's Instagram stories bragging about blowing my money. Their faces went white. I got up, grabbed a USB stick, plugged it into their TV, and displayed a loan application. Dad's name was on it as the principal borrower, mine as the cosigner, but I never signed it. I confronted him about it, telling him their account was already frozen because I'd reported it. Mom gasped, and Emily laughed it off, asking if I was going to sue them. I just smiled and nodded toward the door as the bell rang. I opened it to let in Jake, Emily's ex, who she falsely accused of assault. He walked in with a black folder and sat across from her, ready to spill the truth. Emily was visibly shaken. It was all about to come out, and they didn't see it coming. I showed him a picture of her notes about how to mess with his emotions before breaking up, along with a transcript of her voice recordings edited to sound like his yelling. My mom started to cry, and my dad just stared at the wall. Emily stepped in and said, "You guys are insane. This is harassment." Jake cut her off, "You're not the victim, you're the villain, and I'm done pretending." He walked out, and I followed him, but I quickly turned around and said the last words I'd ever say in that house. "You wanted me to be the perfect son, the quiet cash machine, but now I'm writing my own story." Then I grabbed my laptop, left, and drove away. As I left, chaos broke out behind me with Mom yelling Emily's name, Dad demanding I come back and sort it out, and Emily throwing something, maybe a glass. But I didn't look back. Once you drop the truth bomb, you don't want to see the aftermath. The next morning, I uploaded everything, not just screenshots and voice messages, but the whole stash, under the post titled "When Your Family Treats You Like an ATM with a Pulse." Inside the link was everything: bank transfers, an illegal loan taken out in my name, Emily's fake messages, edited audio breakup plans, Mom's voicemails pleading with me to pay her daughter's tuition, and Dad's Thanksgiving joke about how I might not have a girlfriend but at least I'm paying the bills. I didn't write a sob story or ask for sympathy, I just laid out the facts, the receipts, and ended it with, "I'm not angry or upset. I'm just done pretending. This is what family looks like." Then I hit post and turned off my phone. By noon, it had gone viral, not like celebrity viral, but enough to get thousands of shares and hundreds of comments. Some were from strangers saying things like, "This is exactly what happened to me, and you're not alone." Others were from people who knew my family. I ignored a comment from a high school classmate saying, "I always knew something was off about your sister. This confirms it." I let the post do its thing. By 3 p.m., my aunt, who once responded to Mom's birthday jab with a heart emoji, posted her own status, "Keep family drama private." But nobody liked her post. Emily posted a black square on Instagram with, "Betrayal hits hardest from those you fed." It almost made me smile. Then Dad went live on Facebook from the garage, where I helped him replace the roof. In a shaky voice, he claimed I'd been manipulated, that I was fragile and didn't know what I was saying. Behind him was a stack of beer cans. He added that he forgives me, because families make mistakes, and wished we could fix things. One of his golf buddies commented, "Didn't you admit to forging his signature once?" Dad had boasted about it being his biggest mistake, so I replied with a video from 3 years ago showing him with a beer, saying, "It's fine, I used his social skills, he won't notice. And even if he does, he owes us for giving him life." No caption, just the date. I logged off again. Meanwhile, I wasn't just watching them squirm, I was building something new. I launched a YouTube channel that same week, starting with one video titled "When Helping Becomes Enabling." I didn't name names or make accusations, I just spoke straightforwardly. You can love someone but still walk away, and you can help people without being used. When they show you who they really are, believe them. It got 400,000 views in just 3 days. I got invited to speak on a podcast for people with narcissistic parents, followed by more invites, and eventually even a publisher reached out. I wasn't looking for fame or trying to build a brand, but clearly, a lot of people needed someone to say what they were too scared to voice. Mom gave it one last try, sending me a picture and letter showing the house was being reviewed for foreclosure. Her message was, I hope you're happy. They might take our home. I didn't reply. Instead, I sent back a screenshot showing every dollar I'd given them over the last 3 years, over $84,000, captioned, you took it, not me. She left me on read. 3 hours later, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Emily, I hope you never have kids. You'd be a terrible father. I smiled, not because it was funny, but because it was sad. They tried everything, anger, guilt, threats, but never accountability. But nothing worked. The best part? I moved on quietly, no dramatic posts, no forwarding address, just a new downtown condo on the 10th floor, all mine. So, I went undercover, sort of. I changed everything, my name, my address through a legal trust, and even got a brand new phone number. I completely cut ties. They tried reaching out, hoping my family could get me to respond, but that was a no-go. I was done playing their games, done owing them anything, be it money, time, or even a simple text back. Fast forward a month, and I switched my number. I wasn't scared, just exhausted from listening to their guilt-tripping voicemails. I was over Emily's mysterious Instagram posts about being a selfish sibling, and Dad's slurred letters opening with you don't know how hard it was for me, and ending with let's profit off this mess. They weren't sorry, they just wanted to spin the story their way. But I had already moved on and buried that chapter a long time ago. They didn't notice the funeral, though. I didn't just disappear, I upgraded my life. I moved into this awesome condo on the 10th floor. It was sleek, clean, and cool, just the way I wanted. The high ceilings and chill neighbors who kept to themselves were perfect. No family photos, no group pics on the fridge, and definitely no spare key hidden for unwanted surprise visits. I kept my address on the down low, not even telling my closest friends, 'cause I was finally enjoying the peace and quiet I deserved. I slowly furnished my place, piece by piece, without rushing or owing anyone anything. Standing barefoot in my new living room on that first night, sipping coffee made with my own machine, I realized nobody was around to criticize me for not doing enough or to ask for favors. No more group chats I'd rather avoid, no fake birthday wishes, and zero gossip behind my back. Just sweet, deserved silence. I started working full-time for myself. My consulting business was something I'd been quietly nurturing on the side for years, and after cutting ties, it became my new focus. I called it Understood Consulting, inspired by the one-liner text I sent my mom on my birthday. I whipped up the website overnight, designed the logo, secured the domain, and got the brand registered. It wasn't about making a statement, it was about living life on my terms. Now, I help others break free from similar situations. I speak, coach, and listen, all while keeping things private, because my life's not a reality show for my family to mess with. It's my fortress, guarded and secure, and I'm sleeping better than I ever have. 3 weeks after my big move, a letter popped up at my P.O. box. It was from Mom, handwritten on fancy floral stationery, no less. She started with, "You used to be our sweet boy, and I don't know who this bitter man is. We made mistakes, but airing them like that hurt us. Maybe one day you'll see how hard it was for us and grow up." It ended with, "I'm praying for you." I didn't get emotional or angry. Instead, I just scribbled, "Keep your prayers," on the back with a Sharpie and tossed it. A couple of days later, Dad sent an email with the subject line, "Idea." He suggested going on Dr. Phil to hash things out for the cameras. Apparently, people love a good reconciliation story, and it could be great for my business, and his. He even attached a photo of me as a kid, crying at Chuck E. Cheese while he smiled, drink in hand. I stared at it for a good 10 minutes, saved it not as a keepsake but as a reminder of their true intentions. They didn't want peace, they wanted a platform. That night, I posted a new video on my channel, just me. People kept asking if I planned to make peace or come back, or forgive. But peace isn't about forgetting or pretending your past didn't happen. It's about cutting the chaos and noise out of your life. I'm not their son anymore, I'm the consequence. The video blew up with over 2 million views in a week. Then one day, as I was leaving work, a couple spotted the logo on my office door. The woman looked at me and simply said, "Are you him from that story?" I nodded, and she just said, "Thank you." That moment meant more than all the birthdays I ever begged them to remember. It showed me there's a world full of people duped by those they loved, and now I had proof they could rise above it. I haven't spoken to my family in over a year, and I have no plans to. They're still out there, hinting and rewriting our history, but I let it be. You can't argue with ghosts, just stop letting them haunt you. Sometimes, late at night, I stroll past the mirror in my hallway and catch a glimpse of myself. I look older, but I'm not bitter, just free. I didn't walk away from a toxic family, I just outgrew it, and there's no turning back from that. In my office, I've still got that shop plaque hanging on the wall. It's got a sleek steel finish and some really solid screws. It reads, "We don't rebuild what broke you, we build what frees you." Below it, there's another smaller, custom-made sign I got last week. It says, "Guess who's not turning 12 again?" And every time I see it, I can't help but grin. This year, the party is all mine, and no one's invited. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more crazy real-life stories happening around you.